Thanksgiving and Black Friday are over. Today's Cyber Monday, so let's take a look at some tech news and see if we have any new developments. Hey guys, Tiago here with Classical Technology. On this week's tech news, first, let's address the new Ryzen 3950x, which really created a lot of headroom last week. When it came out, all of the tech reviewers basically went crazy over it. A little bit as well with the Threadripper 3rd generation. Even though they're more expensive, the performance was absolutely bonkers. And the real story here is that Intel really took a beating in the media. There's no way around it. In every single case, while the 10980XE is really not a bad processor within itself, it's just kind of positioned really awkwardly now between the Threadripper and the Ryzen processors, and the 3950X for $750 gives you really comparable performance, even for a little bit cheaper, as well as one of the most important points is that, Ryzen is still a really ongoing platform, while the X299 platform, this is probably the last iteration that they're going to have of this because it's the third CPU update that they've had on it. They had the 7980XE, then the 9980XE, and finally the 10980XE. Now, like I said, they're not bad CPUs, but Intel really has a marketing and branding issue on their hands here because enthusiasts are just jumping towards AMD and Ryzen. Not only is the price cheaper, but the performance is on par or in a lot of cases better than the comparable Intel products. One of the big surprises here is how good the Ryzen 3900X and the 3950X are doing not only on gaming, but also content creation. Multi-core workloads, they're really blowing Intel out of the water, even comparing 18-core to 16-core. Now, as we get into the 24 and 32-core Threadripper 3, Intel currently doesn't really have anything in that mainstream or in the high-end market to match it, unless you go to like a Xeon processor or something like that, which is far out of the scope of many people. So within that sort of acceptable realm of the enthusiast market, AMD is really crushing it. So that's been the biggest news so far. And now in terms of actually picking up the Ryzen 3950X, I did see that the local micro centers did have a couple of copies, and I saw a couple of people got them. I haven't seen the Intel 10980XE pop up anywhere. And of course, the Ryzen 9 3950X, while a few micro centers did get them, I don't see them online, and they look to be sold out at the time of this video. So they're probably going to be that same story as usual. They launch a couple, and then it's weeks before we get a really steady stream. And also, I think less people are going to buy the 3950X compared to the 3900X, if I were to guess, just because the price is a lot more expensive. Even though it's an amazing CPU, it's still a $750 CPU. So a lot of people may opt for like a 3800X or even the 3900X, which have very comparable performance for most everyday tasks. I also wanted to give a little bit of my impressions on Black Friday as it pertains to computer hardware and technology and things of that nature. Now, it was pretty predictable. One thing that they seem to be doing this year is really having Black Friday start a couple of days before the actual Friday. I remember a few years ago when Black Friday was exclusively on Friday, and then little by little it started creeping back into like Thanksgiving, like usually that Thursday. Until it literally was like 5 o'clock on Thursday, Black Friday starts. It wasn't always like this. And now I feel like they're going back even further. It was almost like a week before, and they started to have like preview Black Friday deals and things of that nature. The problem with this is that you start seeing these better deals, and when Black Friday hits, nothing really looks that interesting because you've seen these prices already. So maybe that's one problem that may backfire on them. Because I did go out on Black Friday. I went over to Best Buy on Thursday, and it really wasn't that full. It felt like a regular maybe weekend night or something like that. They had everything set up with the little arrows that they usually put on the floor, but it really wasn't as full as I've seen other Black Friday or Thursdays, after 5 p.m. in the past. Like last year, I think was a lot busier. There were a lot of people, a lot of lines. And I think the reason for this is that most people probably got their stuff earlier. So they didn't really want to go out after Thanksgiving, after eating all that turkey. They didn't really want to go out in the cold and for what? For not really that many great deals. So that's one of the issues they're going to have to contend with. Then of course we have Cyber Monday, which I don't think will be as affected because people can still shop online, and that didn't really change. So the main thing, Black Friday, it looks like less people were in stores, which is interesting and definitely not a good trend for places like Best Buy and other electronic stores. A lot of sites did publish their regular Black Friday deals, like, 15 to 20% off, which is nice if you've been eyeing a particular item, especially if it's expensive, a couple $100, and they're taking off 20%. You could save $50, $100 on it or something like that. That is really nice, and that's one of the perks of Black Friday. And I've noticed before stuff in the past that I wanted to buy on Black Friday, but I ended up not buying it right after the price went up, and it seemed to have stayed up for most of the year. So if you do see something that you like on Cyber Monday or any of these sales days coming up close to Christmas, it's better to buy it because most likely it's going to be more expensive at another point. Sometimes not, sometimes it will be discounted, but in a lot of cases I've seen that the Black Friday price around this time is really one of the best prices because they really want to get people in and selling. This week there hasn't been too much interesting tech news. I think most of it is probably going to be in January and February as we have the CES and other consumer trade shows with electronics. For now, they really want to sell the stuff that they have out there, but there's still going to be a lot of interesting stuff happening. I'd love to see what type of Black Friday deals as well as Cyber Monday deals you guys were able to get and are looking forward to. So write them down in the comments below. For example, the CPU releases that we mentioned previously. Alright guys, thank you very much again for watching. Please subscribe if you liked the video. Like it, leave a comment. I want to hear your Black Friday deals and other thoughts you may have on it. And remember, subscribing helps us grow the channel. Alright, thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.